James Ralston Amos and his brother Thomas Henry were free black farmers in Hensonville, Chester County, Pennsylvania, and trustees at the Hosanna African Union Methodist Protestant Church. It was a small congregation of other free blacks, locally known for its abolitionist members and ties to the Underground Railroad. James wanted to study ministry, and so he asked for help from Presbyterian minister John Miller Dickey, pastor of a church in nearby Oxford. Dickey helped James apply to several seminaries, but his applications were all rejected. So moved by the young man's desire for an education so that he could better serve his congregation, Dickey decided to take matters into his own hands, invite James to his home, and tutor the young man himself. A few years later, John Dickey founded the Ashmun Institute. Modern-day historians note that James Amos, his brother Thomas, and their small black community were just as instrumental in financing and building the institution, and therefore should be considered as co-founders with Dickey. Both Amos brothers would eventually be the first graduates of Ashmun and become ordained Presbyterian ministers. Opened to students on January 1, 1857, with 4 men, including James and Thomas, enrolled, Ashmun Institute got its name from Jehudi Ashmun, a religious leader and reformer involved with the American Colonization Society. The institute was founded to support the education of African Americans at a time when higher education was essentially unattainable to them. According to alumnus Horace Mann Bond and the university's 8th president, it was, to quote, the first institution found anywhere in the world to provide a higher education in the arts and sciences for male youth of African descent, unquote. It would become the nation's first degree-granting historically black college and university. A year after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln in 1866, the school was renamed Lincoln University. The education it provided to African American males was strongly rooted in the teachings of the Presbyterian Church, with a rigorous curriculum being split into 3 areas: preparatory, academic, and theological. Due to these hallmarks, among others, the school was often referred to as the Black Princeton University. The academic department, a 4-year higher education program, taught biblical and classical studies, science, and philosophy. The theological department was a 3-year program that awarded students the degree of Bachelor of Sacred Theology. The college attracted highly talented students from numerous states, especially during the long decades of legal segregation in the South. Among the future graduates would be approximately 10 of the 12 installed pastors of Faith Presbyterian Church. In the same year in which the institution was renamed, the Board of Trustees increased in size from 9 members to 21. Among those who eventually would serve in this capacity was the Reverend Dr. Henry E. Niles, pastor of English Presbyterian, whose tenure on the board would span roughly 2 decades. As history shows, Lincoln University's close ties to English Presbyterian Church was also demonstrated by the fact that upon each of their deaths, Isabel Cassatt Small, the wife of Elder Samuel Small, Jr., and Elder David Eder Small, would each leave large sums of money to the university, with David E. Small's bequest amounting approximately the equivalent of $320,000 today. He was also known for financially aiding individual black students who wanted to attend the school but could not afford it themselves. In addition, when the Sanctuary of English Presbyterian was remodeled in 1892, the organ being replaced was donated to the university, no doubt finding a new home in the Mary Dodd Chapel, which had been built only 2 years previously.
When Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, he wash my sins away.